We are back with another pick'em video, guys, and we swept again. Insane streak we're going on. This is ridiculous. 4-0. Evan Mobley. That line is 100% cashing at 9.0 first half. Was that PRA? Yeah, it doesn't show it here just because he DNP'd, but that line was literally going up. It went up by 2 as I was recording the video. But yeah, ends up getting a late DNP, late scratch, but we crushed everyone else, guys. Jaylen Brown. I literally was talking to my brother about this line. I said, there's a 0.5 dunks line on PrizePicks. Like I'm absolutely hammering that. And we were joking, but I was like, this might be the first play of the game. I can see him going through. I might bet on Jaylen Brown first play of the game, dunk. First play of the game, Jaylen Brown, dunk. It can't make it up. But he absolutely crushed that line. That one was so free. Colin Sexton, kind of sweaty, ended up, I didn't know if he's going to play the fourth quarter. Utah's like that sometimes. But it was a pretty fun game, that last game of the night. And Colin Sexton pulled through for us, which was nice to see. He also hit his fantasy score, which is something we went to in the Discord as well. Halliburton, that minutes restriction, I was telling you guys. So I was talking about Mobley potentially playing all of the first half and then not playing the second half. This is the second game now that we looked at. Tyrese Halliburton played his normal minutes in the first half and then ended up only playing like 5 minutes in the second half. So great call on going to the first half there. And then Porzingis didn't go to his PRA. This was not a video pick. This was the one that I alluded to, kind of telling you guys, hey, maybe join the Discord. This is another one that we talked about. And I went to his fantasy score, and he had like 5 blocks in the first half. Didn't get his PRA, but again, his fantasy score was there, which was awesome to see. So just continuing an absolute crazy run right now. Again, the past like 2 weeks, I don't even know how many units were up in the Discord. It's over 100. It's like insane. 2 6Xs, plenty of 10Xs. Again, we've been murdering we're killing the video picks. And just gonna keep this going. We got a 10-game slate today. So if you guys want to join the community, join the Discord. Again, I just want cool people in there. I'm not trying to like break the bank in terms of getting people in there. I just want cool people in there. You get 2 months free right now. Until Thursday, February 8th, you can get 2 months free. All you got to do is sign up to any of my affiliate links down below. Now it is, so I guess not any, but Sleeper, Chalkboard, Underdog, PrizePicks. Dabble is our new one. Dabble gives you $10 free right when you join, like right when you make an account. Now you do have to make a first deposit in order to get this deal. But you can literally put $10 in. I recommend putting all of the money in to get that deposit match. I also forget to say that every time. You also get the deposit match. So you're getting the 100% deposit match, whether it's up to $100 or $500, like on Sleeper. And then you also get the 2 months free of the VIP Discord. Just join the Discord, hit me up in the DMs. I'm pretty responsive in there and I can get you right in. But yeah, just super excited about the streak we're on, guys. And again, 10-game slate. I'm not planning on slowing down anytime soon. So let's get into the picks here. If you're new here, I go over my picks every single time. It's not just because we're on a heater. I do this whether we go 0 for 5, 4 for 5, 5 for 5, 0 for 5, doesn't matter. I always go over the picks. I'm not hiding anything here. And yeah, let's just continue killing it. Also, before I forget, I want to remind everyone it's Flex Friday. Don't forget to go to your promotions tab right up here or on the phone, and you're going to have to click opt in. It's not going to be available till noon, so once this video comes out, it'll probably be available. But just go into your promotions tab, click opt in, and you'll get that $20 free play, meaning if you lose that $20 play, you're going to get it back in your promo funds. So if you don't go on PrizePicks that much and you want to take advantage of this every single week, definitely go in there, do the Flex Friday play every Friday. And if you're not on PrizePicks, definitely get the code. You get that deposit match and all those good things. Also for Underdog, it's Freaky Friday. So we should be getting good lines and promotions on both PrizePicks and Underdog today. And I wouldn't be surprised if Sleep or Chalkboard, all these other apps, do some sort of Friday promotion. So yeah, don't forget to opt in for especially Flex Friday. Literally, as I said that, you can see 48 seconds ago, Chalkboard posted this on Twitter. 0.5 assists for Trae Young tonight. Free square over on Chalkboard. If you want to take advantage of that 100% deposit match and 2 months free of the Discord, go ahead and use code RICHPICKS. All right, so jumping into the board, the first guy we're going to be attacking is going to be Franz Wagner. We're going to be going to his 4.5 rebounds. It's actually a popular tab thing, so do not pay attention to this little flame. It just means that a lot of people are playing it. If it gets bumped to 5, it's still going to be a flame, even though it won't be as good as at 5. And you never know. Some people are playing this a lot on the under. So you just never know with these popular tabs. But I'm going over here. It looks really good. The hit rate's incredible. Opening up his page over on Outlier. This is a tool that I use every single day. Again, link in the description if you want a free trial on that for 7 days. 75% of the year he's gone over this line. So incredible to see right off the bat. Now, in terms of Minnesota's rebounding defense, they don't allow a whole bunch of rebounds. They're actually the best in not allowing rebounds. But looking at small forwards or even shooting guards in that position where Franz is going to typically be playing, they are a little bit weaker. So when you look at the positional, it's not as bad as you would look at the overall. And then this game is away. It's a 7.5-point spread. I don't think this one's going to be a blowout. Orlando was playing really well at the beginning of the year. Franz went down with the injury. They kind of slipped a little bit, but they are back and healthy. So that is good to see. And he's able to rebound the ball really, really well. It doesn't matter who's playing. If you look at the misses, the past like 3 misses that were any bit recent, one of these games he played 5 minutes, so I'm not even going to count that one. And then this one he played 27 and 24 minutes, which just is not his typical workload in games that were out of hand. So again, I did mention, last 20 games or so looks incredible. 80% hit rate in the last 20. You can almost get rid of these three in terms of like he wasn't just playing his normal minutes. Not sure what happened in this game against Detroit. Seemingly a good matchup. It was a blowout. So maybe they were just hitting everything. Did only play 30 minutes where he's usually getting 35, 36. But yeah, everything looking good. And it's an away game, like I mentioned. It actually gets better in terms of hit rate on away games. Not reading too much into that, but 17 of 21 away games he's hit this line. So loving this. Again, more difficult matchup, yes, in terms of rebounding defense for Minnesota. But for his position, shooting guard / small forward around what he plays, it's a little bit weaker. So loving to see that. And then in terms of the odds, we can go over to DG Fantasy, kind of get the market value where everyone else has this line. I pulled this up on Underdog just by accident, but it looks like it's on Underdog as well. So definitely go ahead and take it over there if you want to as well. But they're favoring this 51.06% chance to hit on the over. That's not like the best odds in the world. We usually go, 53% higher. But it is nice to see that they are on the over, especially with that like insane hit rate, looking at the positional matchup and things like that. And why is this saying it's on the over? It's because FanDuel's got this. Everyone's got this at 4.5, but FanDuel minus 128, DraftKings minus 120, BetMGM minus 120. They're definitely favoring it on the over rather than the under. You're going to get more. You're going to get less money if you were to play this line on DraftKings or whatever. If you took the over rather than taking the under because they think it's more likely to go over. So definitely attacking some good value there. And then last data point would be our projections model over on RotoWire. Actually, I already had it pulled up. But they love this line. They're projecting 6.27 rebounds. We just need a fifth. If we get 6, great. And again, the hit rate's been incredible. So everything pointing towards the over. Not only the hit rate, the match was not bad. When you look a little bit more farther into it, the market value is great and the projection model on the over. So Franz on the over here, looking really, really good for our first play. Now, PrizePicks is definitely holding out on us with our fantasy score lines, with our dunks lines. So I can't be attacking anything of that sort, even though we've been killing those. But I will be going to, some first half stats, some first quarter stats, some of these niche stats that don't have as much data behind them where I really think we can get an edge. So next up, we are going to be going to the first quarter. We're going to be going to Bradley Beal. I wanted to attack this in some way, this Atlanta versus Phoenix game. It's a really high scoring point total. We can actually check that out on RotoWire really quick. That is this game right here. Atlanta is at home. And we got the point total of 249. That's actually the highest on the night. And that's even higher than Sacramento, Indiana, which is kind of crazy in my mind. So there should be a whole lot of scoring. And he's been hitting this line pretty well. So 4.0 is going to be the first quarter points for Bradley Beal. We're going to be going over this. And let's go check him out, kind of see what he's been doing this year, recently with Durant in the lineup, with Booker in the lineup, with both of them in the lineup, things like that. So let's go to Bradley Beal. Check out, again, his first quarter points is where we're going to be going to. And we can see at 4.0, he's been killing this line the past 10 games. 60% of the last 10 games, he's gone over this line. 3 of those games were pushes, and only 1 of those games would actually have hurt us. In terms of the whole year, 2023, 58% of the time he's gone, again, over this line. Only 5 games he's gone under this line. So a lot of push potential in this one. And then thinking about the game kind of at a logical standpoint, he's going up against Trae Young as the point guard on the other team. Now, point guard is kind of interesting here because Booker is technically the point guard on this team. He plays more like the point guard because of his assist numbers and things like that. But in terms of defensive matchup, I expect DeJounte Murray to be playing Booker and then Beal getting the Trae Young assignment, which is definitely better for Beal. Small guard, 6'1". He's got a height difference and a weight difference in his favor. So better of the 2 defensive matchups is going to go to Beal here. And I think they'll exploit that, especially in the beginning of the game. Maybe DeJounte switches on to Beal if he's having a great game. But yeah, really liking this hit rate. And then in terms of like away games, this actually gets better as you look at it. 7 of the last 10 games. He's only gone under this in 1 away game this year, so love to see that. And then in games in general with Booker, with Booker and with Durant, we see 65% hit rate. Again, only 3 of those games would hurt us there. So love the matchup. Love thinking about him going up against Trae Young. I think they'll exploit that early. And 4.0, again, a lot of push potential. If it pushes, it doesn't hurt us. You just can't go under. And then in terms of the odds, they do have a few books with this on the odds. And they are favoring the over here very slightly, 51.98% chance to go over. Now, I don't know what FanDuel's doing. They had this at 5.5 like a few minutes ago. Now they're down to 3.5, but it's minus 156 to go over that. Again, very much looking like a push line with better chance to going over than under, I believe. And DraftKings, it's nice to see that they have it at 4.5. For terms of player props, I very much favor DraftKings, what they're thinking, because they're very oriented in thinking of player props specifically, like DFS platforms. They've been doing that for a while. So Pinnacle and DraftKings are definitely the two that I look at the more. FanDuel's kind of all over the place. I think they just follow the money, whereas these guys kind of know what they're doing more. But 4.5 on DraftKings. Loving to see that. A lot of push potential at this 4.0. And then in terms of projections models, they are projecting Beal to have a solid game. So we see his rebounding line popping up. If you want to see that, that's fine. But in terms of like points, rebounds, assists, they are projecting on the over. So projecting them to have a solid game would translate to a pretty solid first quarter, hopefully. So Bradley Beal, first quarter points at 4.0. That is going to be our second play. And then the third guy I kind of briefly want to touch on, I'm not going to show you this specific line. That's going to be for the people in the Discord. But if you're in the Discord, you know what I'm talking about. And that's going to be Jonas Valanciunas going up against the Spurs with Wembanyama. I think they're going to utilize him a little bit more with the big body of Wembanyama having to guard him. And, sometimes they go to Larry Nance. Sometimes they stick with Jonas. But I think Jonas could have a solid game today. And maybe look at his lines over on Outlier if you have that, or even on DG Fantasy. Definitely utilize those tools, but I'm thinking Jonas Valanciunas has a pretty solid matchup for today. All right, so moving along with the video picks, we're going to be going to first half, something, again, we've been crushing. Now they don't have fantasy scores up, which is unfortunate, but there is a line that I'm really liking. It's going to be a line that we've gone to before, and it's going to be Sabonis at 10.5 first half points. And now this isn't that game, that Sacramento Kings versus Indiana game. This should be a very high scoring game. So love the potential of, a decent, 70-point quarter for the Kings going up against Indiana. So 10.5 first half points. Let's go check him out on Outlier, see what he's been doing so far this year, recently, and things like that. And he's really been very consistent getting this line, or if he doesn't get this line, it's been very close. So let's go to his 10.5 if we can find it. 10.5 right on top. Again, going up against the Indiana Pacers, they give up a whole bunch of points. So we know that 28th ranked, 122.6 points per game allowed. So it should be high scoring. Sacramento is favorites. They are on the road, but 70% of the last 10 games he's gone over this. Now, has been 2 games that I've watched where I have this line. One of the games he literally hit a 3 the second before he got called out for the game for the rest of the half. So it can be a sweaty one, but has been consistently getting this line. 63% of the year he's gone over this. If we look at last 20, 75% of the last 20. And again, those games that he's missing, it's usually 9, 8, 9. Not sure what happened in these 2 games. Tougher matchup against Embiid, obviously. And then an Atlanta game that he probably should have played pretty well. But loving the consistency here. Don't mind the matchup going up against Miles Turner and Siakam. He actually did play these guys a few weeks ago. I think right after that Siakam trade. Not sure if Siakam actually played this game, but it was the day after the Siakam trade. And he had 16 points in that first half against these guys. So love the matchup. Love the potential for scoring in general in this game. If you don't want to do first half points, maybe just go to his PRA. I think he's going to have a solid game, solid matchup. So love the hit rate here. And in terms of away games, it actually gets better as well. So I wanted to point that out. So this is one that we can't really look at in terms of market value just because they don't have those on these fantasy optimizers, the first half stats. But we can go over and, not only trust the matchup and the knowledge of thinking about this game in general, but we can go to the projection model over here, see Sabonis. I just had him up again. See Sabonis, and they're projecting, a pretty good game from him. Points and rebounds are on the over. Points, rebounds, assists, they're on the over. Points in general, they're on the over. So it is good to see that they think he's going to have a good scoring game, and just hoping he does that a little bit more in the first half. So Sabonis, first half, 10.5, looking pretty solid. And the last guy we're going to be talking about is, and I can't believe I'm doing this, is going to be Jordan Poole. And no, I'm not going under, unfortunately. I'm going to be going over his 10.5 PRA going up against Miami. That is not that much statistics. And a guy that can score the ball pretty well when he's hitting shots. The only thing is he's just so inconsistent. But if there's one guy that can ruin this streak, it'd probably be Jordan Poole. But we're going over this 10.5. Let's go check out the hit rate, kind of let the stats do the talking for us. But 7 of the last 10 games, he's gone over this in the first half. This is a team that's gotten blown out a whole bunch. So first half stats are definitely a little bit more in that favor. In 2023 as a whole, he's gone over this in 62% of games. So definitely a solid hit rate. Now, I will say, I'd want to say like, oh, he's in a bounce back spot here. He only had 4 RA last time going up against an easier defense in the Spurs. But it does seem like he is pretty streaky. Once he has one of those bad games, he's in it for a few games. Other than this one, and a few in here, you could argue that, oh, once he goes out for a bad game, he's probably going to have a few bad games in a row. So that is a negative aspect of this one. But if you're thinking about Miami's defense, they're definitely not as good as they have been in past years. If you see points allowed, rebounds allowed, assists allowed, all kind of in the mediocre spot. And for Poole specifically, it's going to be points allowed that we want to look at. And you're saying, oh, it's not that good. Points allowed right here is not the best in the world, 7th ranked. But when we extend that to shooting guards, which he is a true shooting guard, Tyus Jones is definitely the point guard on that team. We see that it turns green. It's a pretty solid matchup, especially with Rozier coming to town too. He's not, the best defender in the world. Harrow and Rozier are not the best backcourt in terms of defense. So I like the spot for him. In terms of the head-to-head, they did face off each other back in November, though. And he did have 14 PRA in the first half last time. So in terms of hit rate matchup, it's not the worst in the world. If we want to look a little bit farther into this is the past 7 games. Rozier's played for 7 games on this Miami team. And for shooting guards, they're giving up the most fantasy points. And this is for the full game. So it is a spot that Poole should have a good game in terms of matchup. He's just got to deliver and actually hit his shots. But Jordan Poole over 10.5 PRA in the first half. That's where we're going to. Again, we can't look at this just yet on DG Fantasy. I'm sure they're working on getting these statistics so we can have those and look at the odds, but not getting any market value to look at. But in terms of the projection model, going over to Jordan Poole, they are projecting, again, a solid game for him. Nothing on the under. They're projecting around his 16 points line, 16.05. PRA, they're projecting 22.18, which is higher than his 21.5 for the game. So, again, this could blow out potentially. Anyone that's playing the Wizards could potentially, blow them out. So I like the first half, and the hit rate's been pretty solid. So Jordan Poole over 10.5 will be our last pick of the video. So doing a little recap, again, we talked Franz Wagner over 4.5 rebounds. We talked Bradley Beal over 4.0 first quarter points. Great matchup against Trey. Domantas Sabonis over 10.5 first half points. Again, great matchup, high scoring potential in this game. And then Jordan Poole, we just talked about him, over 10.5 first half points. Again, I wanted to attack this one early, and then I waited for fantasy lines and dunk lines to come out. Nothing is out still yet. So unfortunate there, but still really liking these picks. And I think we're going to have another good day. The streak's been crazy. But if you want to get in the Discord again, this is my kind of last pitch for the video for it. 2 months free if you use any of my codes to sign up to Underdog, to DG Fantasy, to Chalkboard, to PrizePicks, to Sleeper, any of those apps. All the information is in the description down below. Also, if you want to try Outlier or OddsJam, they have free trials, so check that out as well. But yeah, let's just keep killing it. We've been on an absolute tear, and I don't expect it to slow down anytime soon. So I'll see you guys in the next one.